My name is John, a 23-year-old part-timer. Right now, I'm working part-time at the town's home improvement store. The reason I'm a part-timer without a full-time job is because I have a dream. That dream is to become a painter. I've loved drawing ever since I was a kid, and I was in the art club in middle school and high school. My teacher even suggested I enter my work in competitions. Then one day, when I was in 11th grade, I came home to find my apartment building on fire. My parents passed away, and I lost everything. I was so shocked, I couldn't even think about drawing anymore. I had no grandparents or relatives to rely on. I became all alone in the world. After that, I entered a facility, and thanks to the teachers warmly watching over me, I was able to graduate high school. Then, through an introduction from a teacher at the facility, I got a job at a shipping company and visited various places. The cityscapes that changed from morning to evening gradually gave rise to a desire within me to paint those scenes. After working at the company for about 5 years, I told the president I had something I wanted to do and quit.
While you're young, chase your dreams as much as you can. If you ever get in a bind, I'll hire you back anytime.
He said that he sent me off. I was then free. My meager savings dwindled rapidly, and my part-time job barely kept me fed. But I was happy when I was painting. Early one morning when I went to the park, I saw a young woman I've been noticing a lot recently. Despite the early hour, she was elegantly dressed. Standing under the tree, gazing up at the blossoming flowers, she was so beautiful, I thought she must be the spirit of the tree. As I was sketching her figure, letting my pencil glide across the page, the wind blew, her black hair swayed, and she turned around. The moment her almond-shaped eyes met mine, I hurriedly lowered my face, flustered. Oh no, did she think I was some weirdo? My heart pounded and wouldn't stop. After a while, I raised my head, but she was nowhere to be seen. The wind blew again, scattering the flower petals. I stared at the woman in my sketchbook. The petals have all fallen now too, I sighed. Just as the cherry blossoms scattered, I stopped seeing her as well. I was disappointed and felt a little lonely, but this time of year is my favorite. All the plants that lost their leaves over the winter start sprouting new buds at once. During that short, precious time when the mountains turn green, I go to the park before my part-time job and open my sketchbook. Sometimes, people out running or walking stop and gaze at my drawings.
That's a nice drawing.
Thank you. I exchange greetings with the regulars. After focusing on my drawing for a while, I suddenly heard a hoarse voice.
Well, I'll be.
I turned around to see an old man wearing a dirty sweatsuit, caked with mud and worn through in places. Thank you. What happened to you?
Oh, it's nothing, but that sure is a fine drawing.
The old man smiled, but winced. That doesn't look like nothing. Are you hurt?
Truth is, I seem to have done something to my leg.
That's terrible then. Should I call an ambulance?
Nah, could you lend me some money?
Money? Can't you go to the hospital?
I've got my reasons. I want to hail a cab, but I don't have my wallet or phone on me.
I see. Well, I don't have much, but I took out my wallet and pulled out the $30 inside. This was my last bit of money until my paycheck came in 3 days, but I couldn't just leave someone in need, much less someone injured. I was pretty sure I still had some bread and salad at home. I'd manage somehow. I'm sorry. This is all I have. I turned my wallet upside down, but nothing else came out.
You sure about lending me all you got?
It's fine. Please, don't hold back.
I'll pay you back double for sure.
You don't need to double it. Here, I'll call you a cab. I called a taxi on my cell and told them the location. All right, let's go to the road. Please, get on my back. I turned my back to him, but the old man hesitated.
No, I can't impose on you for a piggyback ride too.
It's okay. It'd be hard with that leg, right? The old man finally got on my back. When we reached the road, the taxi arrived right on time.
Young man, I'll repay this kindness for certain. Give me your contact info. I'll repay this for sure.
2 days later, I got a call from an unknown number on my cell. Hello, this is John.
Oh, it's me. It's I, the old man you lent cab fare to the other day.
Oh, from that time.
Sorry for the delay. A lot happened. Anyway, where are you now?
I just got home.
I see. And where's home?
I told him my address near the riverbank. Not even 5 minutes later, I heard the sound of multiple cars pulling up outside my apartment. The doorbell rang. I opened the door, wondering what was going on, and there stood the old man from before, leaning on a cane in a formal suit.
You really helped me out the other day. I've come to pay you back. Hey, what's wrong? John, you look pale.
Who are those people behind you? Behind the old man stood a line of men in black suits and sunglasses.
Well, these are my subordinates. They insisted on thanking you, so I had no choice but to bring them, he said.
John, thank you for helping, boss.
The men in black said in unison as they came forward to thank me before stepping back. A tall, tough-looking man in his 40s remained.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping my dad. Here's the $30 you lent him, plus a little something extra.
The envelope he respectfully handed over was suspiciously thick for just $30. I can't accept this. Opening it, I found at least 30 $100 bills underneath the crisp $30. Just the amount I lent is enough.
No, this is a token of appreciation from our family.
But still,
Please accept it without hesitation. This expresses our gratitude for your kindness. If you don't accept it, it'll be my responsibility.
what a dilemma. Children's Day is coming up soon, right? Truth is, I was once in the foster care system myself. It was only for a short time, but they treated me real well. So I sometimes go teach the kids art. If it's all right, could you donate this money to that facility instead? I'm sure the facility I was at isn't having an easy time financially either. So if they had this money. The moment I said that, the old man stared at me intently with sharp eyes.
Ah, I knew it. I thought so.
I hung my head, breaking out in a cold sweat. The old man's expression turned stern for a moment, but then he smiled.
I can't stand folks who stray from the path of human decency. I value sincerity above all else. You're wonderful.
Saying this, he clapped me hard on the shoulder.
Don't you think he'd be a fitting husband for Carmen?
The man called Edward choked back tears. Huh? Husband?
Carmen. Someone get Carmen.
A young man went to the car and respectfully opened the door.
Your father's calling for you.
I was shocked to see the person who stepped out. It was the beautiful, elegantly dressed woman resembling the tree spirit I secretly admired.
Carmen, your groom has been decided.
Carmen walked over gracefully. Seeing me, she narrowed her almond eyes and smiled.
I'm Carmen. Nice to meet you.
John, please take my daughter as your bride.
Well, I spoke to Carmen, who was sitting elegantly before me. The gang members introduced Carmen to me and promptly took their leave.
Please take good care of Carmen.
I felt bad leaving her standing at the entrance, so I invited her in and served tea. It must be troubling to be told something like that so suddenly.
No, I trust my father's judgment in people. If he approves of you, John, I'm sure it'll be fine. Do you dislike me? I guess a gangster's daughter like me is.
And no, not at all. But to enter into marriage so suddenly. You seem quite young, Carmen.
I'll be 20 this year.
Carmen tilted her head and looked at me intently. Her beauty made me dizzy. But I still think marriage requires knowing each other well.
You're right. Then, let's go on a date.
A date?
Yes.
Carmen smiled. Her calm demeanor suddenly seemed bright and cute when she smiled like that.
When's your next day off?
The day after tomorrow.
Then I'll come pick you up the day after tomorrow. Thanks for the tea and for having me today.
She exited politely. 2 men in black suits were waiting outside. I crouched down, feeling exhausted. What was that about? I pinched my cheek hard. It hurt, guess it wasn't a dream. But Carmen, she was that woman. She really was beautiful. I muttered to myself as I took out my sketchbook and gazed at the picture I'd drawn before of Carmen and the blossoming tree. But marriage, to a gangster's family. As I worried over what to do, I must have drifted off at some point. In my dream, Carmen was smiling under the blossoming tree.
I've come to pick you up.
On the promised day, I was restless since morning. I put on the nicest clothes I owned and waited. The doorbell rang, and there was Carmen in a dress. She looks absolutely stunning today, too. Carmen has a sharp, dignified air, but in a flowy dress, she gives off a softer impression.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thomas, William, you're going to startle John. Can't you tone it down a bit?
Our deepest apologies, miss.
Don't worry about it. Are you Carmen's bodyguards?
Yes, we'll be guarding you both all day to ensure no harm comes to you. So please enjoy yourselves to the fullest.
The one called Thomas seems energetic and has a playful way of talking, but he also seems personable.
We won't get in the way of you two.
The other one, called William, has sharp, handsome features.
You two can go home already. No can do. We were told to never take our eyes off the boss. Well, I guess it can't be helped then. Let's go.
Sure. Is there anywhere in particular you want to go?
The amusement park.
The amusement park, huh? Wait, you mean the little one in town?
Yeah, I prefer the small local one. It holds a lot of memories for me.
That's fine. Let's go.
John, let's do that one next. The roller coaster again?
William seems to struggle with thrill rides, looking half dead.
You're hopeless. Oh, I know. That one should be okay.
Carmen pointed to the Ferris wheel.
Since it's a date, you two ride in a different car.
John, please take good care of the young miss.
Hey, look, they're totally watching us.
As the wheel starts moving, Carmen laughs in amusement at the two pressed up against the window, waving at them. Those two really cherish you, don't they?
You know, when they were in high school, they were delinquents causing trouble around town. My dad took them in. They rebelled at first, but Edward beat some sense into them. After he fed them, they totally warmed up to us. I was only about 5 years old at the time, so they doted on me. They're like older brothers with a bit of an age gap.
Carmen shrugged mischievously.
They worry about me too much though, so they can be a bit naggy sometimes, like Mills.
By the way, why this amusement park?
My mom passed away from illness when I was 7, but the last place we came together was here.
Carmen murmured, gazing out the window. I see. Actually, this was the last place I came with my parents too, before they passed away.
John, your parents. Could it be?
Yeah, they died in a fire when I was a sophomore in high school. The last time we came here, I was in 7th grade.
I had no idea. So this place holds memories for both of us.
After the amusement park, Carmen and I grew much closer. We went out to eat a few times, and I accompanied her shopping. Thomas and William tagged along every time, but I got along great with them too. Talking to them, I found that Thomas and William are both good guys.
John, you draw?
Carmen asked curiously, seeing me with a small sketchbook as we took a walk together.
Yeah, I do.
When I showed her the sketchbook, Carmen let out a cheer.
Wow, it's wonderful. You're so talented, John.
Her eyes sparkled as she praised my art. Actually, Carmen, this is.
Wait, is this me?
Yeah, it's you. Truth is, I saw you once back when the flowers were blooming. Carmen stared intently at my drawing of her with the blossoming tree, looking impressed.
Thank you. It's a really lovely picture.
Carmen's words made me happier than being complimented by anyone else, resonating in my heart. Carmen, would you like to visit the childcare facility sometime? I'm going to teach art there soon. When I told her about my plans for Children's Day, Carmen nodded happily.
Oh, my dad and the others were invited that day too, as thanks for their donation.
That's right. Please come, Carmen. And then Children's Day arrived.
John, look at my drawing.
All right, let's see it. As we were having this exchange, I noticed a little girl standing behind me.
Who's this person?
This is Carmen. She said she wants to draw together with everyone. Say hi. The girl gazed dreamily at Carmen, who was smiling in a pink dress.
She's so pretty, like a flower fairy. Wow, is she your GF, John? The teacher's blushing.
The kids were super excited.
She's not my GF. She's my fiancée. Your bride.
H hate Carmen.
Oh my, what's wrong with that?
Carmen said calmly.
Hey, is the director here?
A loud voice tore through everyone's happy time, echoing in the facility. I saw 3 scary-looking men come in. Who are you people?
The director borrowed money from us. We're here to collect today.
The men in ties were yelling loudly. The frightened children looked like they were about to cry. Thomas and William, who were usually by Carmen's side, had gone outside to guide the boss's cars.
Get out. This is no place for people like you.
A dignified voice rang out. Carmen stood straight in front of the men, her ramrod straight posture breathtakingly beautiful.
Who's this chick?
She's not a chick. She's Carmen.
Is this Carmen gonna pay off the debt of this place? A pretty lady like you could make plenty.
The moment I saw the man's vulgar grin, something snapped inside me. Carmen, stay back. Don't you dare lay a finger on her.
What's your deal? We're talking to the bride here. We don't need weaklings like you.
Inside, I was terrified. But I thought of the faces of everyone at this place that helped me, the crying children, and I saw Carmen's hand shaking earlier. Carmen was scared too, but she stepped up to protect everyone. This person has nothing to do with this facility. I'm from here, so I'll find a way to pay the debt. The men snorted, looking displeased.
A guy like you could never pay it off. This chick, on the other hand.
The man's hand reached for Carmen, and I quickly pulled her to me. As a result, I ended up embracing her.
The hell? Getting all lovey today.
The man yelled and raised his fist. I shut my eyes, bracing to be hit. But the punch never came. I cautiously opened my eyes to see Edward grabbing the man's raised fist.
My apologies, miss.
Edward spun the man around effortlessly and slammed him to the floor. The man went still, apparently knocked out.
Why you?
The other 2 men advanced on Edward.
Who the hell are you?
He asked quietly, but the pressure made the men clam up.
I'm the underboss of the Hunters gang. This here is the boss's daughter and her fiance. You aware of that?
The men paled at the words Hunter's gang underboss. Edward drove it home.
And this is the boss of the Hunters gang.
The boss, Thomas, William, and the other members were all lined up.
We're sorry. We didn't know this was Hunter's gang turf.
The men started apologizing.
How dare you treat Carmen like that? And scaring these sweet kids.
The men crumpled to the floor.
Take them away.
The members dragged out the collapsed men.
John, you're hurting me.
I realized I was holding Carmen tightly. I'm so sorry. I hastily let go, and Carmen laughed softly.
No, thank you for saving me.
The boss approached me, looking moved. He grabbed my hands and shook them. Saving you, you say? You protected everyone first, Carmen. Thank you. Edward, you also really helped us. Truly, thank you.
I'm grateful to you for protecting the young miss, John. Mister, you're so strong.
A little boy approached Edward, eyes sparkling.
He was so strong. He beat him up. Carmen was awesome too. And the teacher.
Amid everyone's joy, Edward smiled a bit and patted the boy's head.
I've made preparations for today with the young miss since yesterday. It's a pity things didn't go perfectly.
Nah, everything's great. I was coming to get you anyway, so it would have worked out regardless.
I see. So this is the kind of things you guys always say.
Carmen looked amused as she said that.
Edward, you felt bad for them, so you brought snacks for everyone too, right? Let's enjoy them with the kids.
At Carmen's words, The members started handing out cutely wrapped candies to the children.
Wow, they look yummy. Then let's all dig in. After that, it's our class. Thanks for the food. Carmen, these are really delicious. It's amazing that you're good at making sweets. I'm glad you like them. I'll make cakes and cookies next time too.
Later, the art class ended without issue. Carmen smiled as she waved to the children.
You'll be fine with him.
The boss said this and told Thomas and William they didn't need to come along.
Please take care of the young miss.
During our first time alone together, walking side by side, I suddenly realized, even though I'd gotten used to being with Carmen, I suddenly felt more nervous.
By the way, do you know why my dad borrowed money the day he met you?
No, I don't.
My dad gets suffocated, always having an entourage too, so he snuck out alone for a walk. He left his phone and wallet behind, since they can track his location by GPS if he has his phone. So he was enjoying a moment of freedom when he climbed a tree to rescue a cat. Then he fell.
Ah, so that's why he was covered in mud and injured.
He came back in a taxi amid the uproar, and Edward totally chewed him out. Hilarious, right?
Did you ever sneak out like that, Carmen? Is that a springtime thing?
When the flowers bloom, they always remind me of my mom. And at that time, Thomas and William were sleeping by that river.
She explained herself mischievously.
Standing under the blossoming tree makes me feel like I'm with my mom. It's so calming.
When I first saw you, I thought you were a tree spirit.
Oh my, I'm definitely human.
When she said that, I couldn't hold back anymore. Carmen, I like you. I want to find a proper job and date you. Then Carmen quietly smiled.
Okay, I thought we were already dating, but let's work hard together. It might be tough at first, but I think we can manage if we cooperate.
Carmen grinned. I can do my best if I'm with you, Carmen. No, I will do my best.
I knew it. You're wonderful, John. At first, I thought you were a bit unreliable for my dad's pick, but seeing you today, desperately trying to save me, I was moved. And the way you teach art to the kids was lovely.
I was moved today too, seeing you stand up for me and everyone at the facility. I saw your hand shaking, so I knew you were scared. Still, you tried your hardest, even though you were not used to it. From now on, I'll protect you, Carmen. We held hands for the first time in the sunset. Carmen, will you marry me?
That's right. That's right. Will you take Carmen?
When we told the boss we were officially engaged, he nodded, looking satisfied.
I'm so happy for you, miss.
The boss and Edward kept wiping away their tears. Oh yeah, about those debt collectors the other day. They forced their way onto the roof, claiming it was damaged, and tried to extort a huge sum without doing anything. We turned them down, and the Hunters gang intervened directly. Boss, thank you so much.
Hey, I said to call me Dad.
I laughed merrily with Dad, a sparkle of tears in his eyes. And then we had our wedding. The other day, I won the gold prize in a watercolor competition. It was a big competition, so it was on TV. I was super busy, having to do interviews and all. The piece I submitted was the painting of Carmen under the blossoming tree. Everyone gazed at it breathlessly, praising how beautiful and magnificent it was.
John, congrats. You were just as promising as I thought.
Across from where we viewed the beautiful blossoming trees, Dad cried tears of joy while Carmen sobbed out loud.
Let's keep doing our best for each other, John.
Yes, I'm counting on you. We joined hands and vowed to walk through life together. After our wedding, I kept working part-time jobs as usual, while Carmen supported our household working part-time at a supermarket. Thanks to that, I gradually started getting more art jobs and life got much easier. My friends, teachers, facility mates, and even my old coworkers from the delivery company celebrated my success. I was filled with gratitude for being blessed with such wonderful people. And then Carmen and I had triplets. We were at a loss with our first experience raising kids, but we managed somehow with the support of Edward, a housework genius. Seeing our triplet cute smiles, I'm truly happy. The triplets are always in a good mood, just like their mom.
Hey, these are John's kids.
It makes me glad to see William doting on them too. I helped make some hot milk for Carmen.
Delicious. So soothing.
She smiled blissfully. Thank you, always.
What are you giggling about? I should be thanking you, John.
Carmen grinned, looking embarrassed. Gazing at Carmen, I knew I would continue walking through life together with my precious loved ones.